Alrighty, everybody. What is up, y'all? Welcome back for another stream. We are back yet again for another update here on the crazy winter storm that we're dealing with here. But anyways, it's good to see you. We have Lovable Ace, we have Mark, we have Math. Is it Matthew? I think is that Matthew? Hopefully, I'm saying your name right here. Let's see here. What worries Mimosas, power outages, icy roads, and dangerous stuff? Yeah, ice is going to be the main problem for sure. All right, I'm turning this light back on because apparently I look pink if I have that if I have that off. Let's see. I have family in Charleston. See, it's going to be intense, and you have a friend in Michigan area where there's blizzard. Blizzard, really? They I don't see any blizzard warnings out there. I do know that Michigan's getting a lot of heavy lake effect snow and stuff like that. Yep, it's Matt. Okay, cool. What's up, St. Elmo? Good to see ya. What's up, Smiley? But anyways, guys, look at all these warnings that we have now in effect. So all of these pink ones, these are all winter storm warnings that are in effect. We actually now have some ice warnings in effect, ice storm warnings, which includes a little bit of northeastern Louisiana, southeastern Arkansas, cutting up through northern Mississippi here, as well as southwestern areas of Tennessee. So those are now in effect. Then a lot of the Ohio Valley, Mid-Atlantic, Northeast still has a lot of winter storm watches, which a lot of those are going to be turning over into warnings here. Probably pretty soon, honestly. Let's see here. Angel says, hello from Michigan, Andrew. What's up? Hope you're doing well. Was Blind says, hello all. What's up? Let's see. I have family sailing into Charleston sometime in the next 5 days. Should I tell them to avoid Charleston, South Carolina? I'm assuming a lot of those coastal areas will actually be, some of the coastal areas will actually be warm enough, to not be in it. Which, I mean, right now Charleston does not have any form of watch or any warnings right now. Here, let's go back to models here for a minute. We'll pull up an ice comparison here on the models. Here, let's go to workflows, and we'll go ahead and do an ice comparison. Which, I mean, yeah, the way we stand now, yeah, Charleston will be fine from the ice more than likely. You can see the Euro and the GFS still in a little bit of disagreement here, as you can see. The American model on the left panel here still does show a lot of a lot of snow for Virginia area. And of course, we still have Euro, which has pretty much ice at this point still. So the way that we are now on these models, I mean, models are still actually in a bit of disagreement here, believe it or not. All right, let's see here. Got a lot of questions coming in. Let's see here. What's up, Misty? Good to see ya. Stormy says, I live in Glen Flora, Wisconsin. Can extreme cold cause power outages by bursting and exploding power breakers? Honestly, I'm not really sure about that, to be honest with you. I mean, I'm sure that I do know there's a lot of electronics that are very sensitive to cold temperatures. So, I mean, I'm sure if it gets cold enough, yeah. Let's see here. Missy says, got under a winter storm watch today in north of St. Louis. Gotcha. Yeah. Are you up in like Bowling Green area? Gotcha. Yeah, actually, I see that here. Let's hop back over here real quickly. So these watches that are in effect here, between 3 and 7 inches possible. Here, let's just bring up our whole comparison here. I have my Mark III Snowfall comparison map here. So we have 5 models we can look at. Yeah, the models are still kind of all over the place here. So you're over this way. So yeah, whenever it comes to it, I mean, you're probably not going to see any more than 7 or so inches. It seems like a lot of models. I mean, we're kind of averaging around 4, maybe 5 inches or so. I mean, yeah, the Weather Service, they did put you in that watch for 3 to 7 inches possible, which is definitely a good possibility. Yeah, so definitely stay tuned for that. Let's see here. Rochi says, do I think we'll have an update on the snow/sleet accumulations either later tonight or tomorrow? Well, we have a new set of model runs here. The 18 UTC. I think last stream we looked at the 12 Zulu. I'm pretty sure. So there's already been a bit of an update here, which is kind of what we're streaming here now. Let's see. What can we see in Lexington Park, Maryland? Gotcha. Here, let's hop over to Maryland here. Was Lexington Park the bottom area here? I feel like I remember you. Yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah, so Lexington Park here, totals are still really all over the place. It just really depends on the snowfall and stuff. Or sorry, the ice. The warm air really getting into the storm here is what we're worried about. That would really knock over those snow totals. Now, if we were to average kind of what we're looking at now in the snowfall, we have an 8.1, we have a 2.4, we have a 4.8, we have ourselves a 5.8, and we have lastly a 4.5, which 25.6 divided by 5 models. So an average of about 5 inches of snow is kind of where these models are on a standpoint. Now, like I said, the ice is probably going to be the main thing for you. You're likely going to be getting a lot of ice regardless here. I mean, freezing rain accumulation, GFS shows about 0.3 of an inch here, while the Euro has you in a lot more ice, which, the GFS was the model that actually had you in the most snow, while you have the Euro, it shows the most ice for the most part. A lot of the models actually kind of agree with Euro in terms of ice accumulation. So you're going to get a little bit of a mix of both. So definitely got to keep an eye on it. Let's see. Rochi says, "Oh, hope all is well, man." Yeah, you too, dude. All right, let's see here. What's up, Haley? Good to see ya. Let's see here. Wasblind says, "I'm in Northeast Arkansas. No bread or milk in stores." Yeah, a lot of stores are going dry for sure. What do I think that Cleveland, Ohio will get? Good question. Here, let's hop on over here to Cleveland, Ohio. I think you guys actually have a watch in effect. Yeah, winter storm watch here. Total snow accumulations in excess of 6 inches from the National Weather Service. So for you, we'll actually just pull up the snowfall total map here, like we had a minute ago. We'll do the Mark III that I have here. So for Cleveland, yeah, you guys could actually be in a pretty good amount of snow out there by Cleveland. I mean, there's a fair amount of models that show, a good 6-7 inches actually. All but one model show about 6-7 inches. So, I mean, I would expect possibly about 4 to 8 inches or so. Like I said, the official National Weather Service forecast in that watch, they have you in excess of 6 inches. I'd say about 4 to 8, honestly, would be a really good range, with locally higher amounts being possible. Some areas could get a little bit more than others, but yeah, definitely. Let's see here. Colder batteries drain faster. Yeah, for sure. Matthew says, "How much snow do I think Central New Jersey would get?" Got some family out there. Gotcha. So Central New Jersey, you guys could be in for quite a bit. Yeah, GFS still showing quite a bit. Also, the Euro AIFS shows about a foot in some areas here. If we're talking areas by Trenton, since that's like Central New Jersey, honestly, we have one model that shows 12. We have one that shows 4, another with 4, another one with about 6 inches, and then another one with about 9 inches here. Or sorry, that's actually over a foot out by Trenton area. But it really ranges quite a bit. Yeah, I mean, New Jersey's in for quite a lot here. Now, if we switch on over here to the, we'll grab this random winter storm watch here in Central. This one shows, so the official National Weather Service forecast has you in about 12 to 16 inches of ice, or sorry, 12, not ice accumulations, 12 to 16 inches of snow, with ice accumulations around 1/10 of an inch possible. So mostly snow event for you out there. Definitely quite a bit. Let's see here. Haley says, "I'm under a winter storm warning. Cold weather right now in Missouri." Gotcha. We'll stay safe. Stormy says, "Am I under any winter weather warnings or watches?" No, I'm in Central Florida, so I'm not really in any of this. It is going to get a little cold out here. Yeah, I'm over here. Good old Polk County. It's where I'm at. No, I mean my hometown up in Prince William County, and the other place I used to live up in Oldham County, Kentucky. Between those two areas, they're getting hit hard. But yeah, me down here, we're not getting anything except for a bit of cold air later on in the week. So, um, what about Jonesboro, Arkansas? All right, we got good old Arkansas up here. So, according to the GFS model, that's the most aggressive model, showing you in about 12 inches of snow. Some other models, like the Euro, has you at about 5 inches. Same with the GDPS model. The AIGFS shows you in about 7, and in the Euro AIFS shows you in about 6 or 7 or so. So definitely a bit. Now, whenever I look at the winter storm warning, that you actually do have an effect here. The National Weather Service has you in total sleet/snow accumulations. Okay, so snow accumulation between 6 and 9 inches, and ice accumulation less than a quarter of an inch, which, I mean, even a tenth of an inch can cause some problems. So definitely some significant winter impacts is expected out there. So keep an eye on it. Let's see here. Oh my goodness, dude. The Drooby Dooby Doo show. You know what's really funny is that my mom used to call me as a kid. That's actually really funny. Let's see, I feel that I'm in trouble in, was that Morrilton? Morrilton, Arkansas? Here, let me pull that up for you. Let's see. You. Oh, yeah. Okay, so you're in a winter storm warning here. National Weather Service has you between 4 and 10 inches in northern sections, which, yeah, you're kind of north central. Here, let me pull up on my models here, and we'll see what they say. Like Morrilton is right here. So we got one model that obviously GFS, the most aggressive one, shows you in about 15 inches. We have the Euro, shows you in about 6. GDPS shows you in about 2, which is the lowest model. Then we have the AI GFS model with 8 inches, and then the AI Euro about 8 inches as well. Yeah, I mean, honestly, you're in a pretty decent amount of snow. I'd say at least a half a foot is going to be expected, between these models here. You do like the hat I'm wearing. Thanks. Appreciate it. Let's see here. All of Arkansas is going to get hit with at least some snow. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Southeastern Arkansas. Actually, a matter of fact, yeah, southeast Arkansas, most of it's going to be ice here. This is crazy. Look at this, though. So this is down in southeast Arkansas. This is out for Hamburg and Lake Village area. This is an ice storm warning in effect. Look what it says. Significant icing expected. Ice accumulations up to 1 inch with additional accumulation, or with additional sleet accumulation possible. Could you imagine that? An inch of ice and the amount of destruction that will cause. So, I mean, those areas are, like, if that actually occurs, those areas are going to lose power easily. So, like I said, just make sure you guys are ready for it. Let's see. Rochi says, "Can I check the snow/ice amounts for zip code, please?" Yeah. See, I know in South DC will get more ice accumulation. Yeah, I got you, man. Let me pull it up for you. We'll see what the Weather Service has, and I'll do a bit of an overview. Oh, you're up by DC. Gotcha. So you're in a winter storm watch here. The National Weather Service says heavy snow mixed with sleet, freezing rain possible. High likelihood of at least 5 inches of snow with over 10 inches possible. So it's quite a range, honestly. Ice accumulation is also possible. Now, the latest guidance does show more ice included because of that little warm layer in the lower atmosphere rolling through, which is going to be melting the snow in the rain before it hits the ground. And, of course, once it hits the ground, the temperatures at the surface would still be freezing. So that'll just allow for a lot of ice accumulations. Now, that is an upwards trend. It seems like the Mid-Atlantic is the models are starting to show the Mid-Atlantic maybe getting a little bit more warmer air, which could increase ice totals and decrease snow totals here. Now the models, if we hop back over here, snow accumulation wise, so obviously we got crazy GFS over here showing you over a foot, which that's unlikely, given current other guidance that we have. Most models here show anywhere from about 4 to 6 inches or so. So, anyways, definitely regardless, going to be quite impactful here. All right, let's see here. I lost my place here. Hold on. Let's see here. Was Blind says, I think I'm in trouble in Jonesboro, Arkansas. Did we already do Jonesboro? I feel like we did. Yeah, we sure did. Yeah, definitely need you to be weather-aware out there. I mean, Jonesboro is going to get hit pretty darn hard out there. Let's see here. Matt says it's crazy. Thanks, Andrew. No problem. Got you. Yeah, ice is a huge problem for sure. That's going to be the main issue here is ice. Todd says, hey, Andrew, here in Ottawa, Ontario, we are getting hit hard again with snow right now. Gotcha. Well, be careful out there, man. 3 snow skulls. Wow. Awesome. My mom called me that. I know, dude. Sorry, I'm a little behind in chat. I apologize. See, whiteout conditions. Yeah. Be careful out there, man. Let's see. Just joined your Discord. You're my second weather YouTuber. Just joined Discord servers up. Oh, I appreciate it. Let's see here. Were those totals in Cleveland, Ohio, the Kashira? That's 10-1. I probably should look at the Kashira given the cold conditions out there. Here, let me actually pull up the Kashira ratio. Yeah, 10-1 is good for wet snow with warmer temperatures. And Kashira, given the colder temperature, that's better for the white fluffy stuff. Where you have the temperatures closer to freezing, can tend to bring a lot more wet snow. The dry stuff comes from the really fluffy, powdery stuff. The stuff that doesn't really clump together very well. That comes from colder air throughout the atmosphere. Usually where the entire atmosphere from ground to upper levels is below freezing. So, anyways, let's see here. Oh my goodness, Jordan, dude, coming in with a $2 Venmo donation. I appreciate it, man. Let me pull up your thing here. What about Quentin, Virginia? Let me look here. Let me pull up the 10-1 ratio, the Kashira real quickly. And then I'll get right to you. Thank you, dude, for the 2, man. I really appreciate that. All right, so let's add that real fast here. We'll do Kashira ratio. Yeah, those totals are going to be a much higher. All right, so we have the first storm that goes through. Yeah, so out by Cleveland shows about 8-9 inches from GFS. Euro is going to be higher, though. Yeah, because Euro has that northerly track showing you over a foot. So it'll be a lot of light, fluffy stuff here overall. Anyways, Jordan, thanks once again, dude, for the 2. Let me hop over and see what you're dealing with out there. We'll bring up your area. Let's see here. Quentin, Virginia. Gotcha. Okay, so you, my friend, you're under a winter storm watch right now. The National Weather Service has you in that. Now, they don't really say totals here, but I can look for you. It says heavy mixed precipitation possible. Confidence is increasing for widespread snow, sleet, and freezing rain. That's just generally speaking about the storm itself, that the confidence is increasing of impacts. They don't say the totals, which is really interesting. Probably due to the amount of disagreement there is still right now. Your area is actually in a heavy disagreement zone. The Mid-Atlantic lately is a new trend, or the trend is for the Mid-Atlantic is a lot more warmer air rolling in the lower atmosphere, which is going to make lower snow totals, higher ice accumulations out there. Now, let's see here. Let me bring it up again here. That way I can kind of find out exactly which area. Quentin, Virginia. Here we go. Okay, so yeah, you're pretty much near Williamsburg in a way. So you're above. You're right near Richmond, actually, aren't you? Yeah. So out in this area here, the Euro has a lot of the snow to the north. So you're probably not going to see a whole lot of snow. I mean, even the GFS here, I think. Yeah, has you. This is Kashira, by the way. Let's go back to 10-1. Because this is the not proper one to use for these warmer conditions here. Here, let's go back. Precipitation 10-1 ratio. So the you got to be around here somewhere. Can't find your exact area, but you're just generally in this area here. But it does show maybe 6-7 inches or 7 to 8 inches or so from GFS. Like I said, Euro would be a little less given that northerly track here overall. So I think the main thing for you is probably going to be a bit of ice, which that's what I'm really worried about for the Mid-Atlantic here, especially Virginia, probably getting quite a bit. here, let's actually take a look at that real quickly. At the precipitation, we'll do total freezing rain. Yeah, so a lot of places out there could get, a good half inch to an inch or so of freezing rain, which that would be an issue. So a lot of ice. So just be careful, dude. Seriously. But Jordan, thanks once again, man, for the $2. I appreciate it. It is greatly appreciated. All right, let's see here. Getting a little bit caught behind. I apologize. Here, let me see. All right, let's see here. What's up, Sam? I'm good to see ya. How much snow is Pittsburgh going to get from the system here? Good question. So Pittsburgh, right now under a winter storm watch from the National Weather Service, they say that anywhere from 8 to 15 inches of snow appear most likely, with locally higher amounts even possible. Yeah, that's the thing, is that the models have been pretty good with Pittsburgh area regarding the accumulations here for the last while. So yeah, I mean, you're definitely going to be in for quite a quite a ride here. Now, if we bring back up our models and we head back over towards Pittsburgh here, with the snow, I mean, we're talking definitely quite a bit. I mean, look how close these models are together. GFS showing about 10 inches, Euro showing 11, the GDPS showing about 9 inches, while AI-GFS shows 11, and the ECMWF AIFS shows also about 11 inches. So you'll probably see about a foot. Definitely. Now you're actually high enough north to where the ice won't be a concern, because that warm air will not advect its way up at that high into those latitudes. So you should be pretty good, from the ice and stuff like that. So thank you, Samuel, for saying that. Appreciate it. Annie says sharing. Thank you. Appreciate it. You're welcome, Todd. Let's see here. Oh, you lost power earlier? Ooh, that's not good. What's up, Frankie? Good to see you, man. I was hoping it was going to slide north, but I guess not. Yeah, GFS still wants it a little bit further north than the other models, but let's see. I know this is irrelevant, but what are the models showing for low temp / wind chills for the Greater Twins area? So with the temperatures and stuff like that, I mean, it's going to get really, really cold. Matter of fact, a lot of areas actually have extreme cold warnings here that are in effect here, because just some of these temperatures we're going to show. But let me show you that real quickly. I'll just pull up the map for a lot of the states so you guys can kind of see that. So let's refresh this. I'll pull up GFS first so you guys can, all of you just in general, can see those temperatures, because I don't want to keep on bringing it up because it takes a while to hop back and forth. So this will just be for everybody. So let me also add the point reference here too. We'll do single color. We'll do this white. I'll make this bold, and we'll increase font size so you can kind of see these temperatures here. So this just kind of goes for everybody. So here's the American model. This is the GFS. So you can kind of see the areas that we're talking about here. So we're definitely going to get quite the plunge of cold air really coming down into the country here. I mean, you can see as we approach our way here for Friday morning, a lot of the, the northern plains, the upper Midwest here, I mean, look, we're well into -10s to -20s across a lot of those regions here. Really, really, really cold. Then we go into pretty much Saturday morning here, and you can actually see that we do have still a lot of those negatives up there in the Midwest and stuff, upper Midwest. And of course, at this point in time, a lot of those negative temperatures working their way into the Great Lakes, towards the Ohio Valley, of course, the Northeast. Look at that. Wow. -33 up there in northern New York State, according to GFS. That's pretty wild, man. Now, these are actual temperatures, by the way. These are not your feel like. These are real actual temperatures that's expected. So that's what the GFS shows here for Saturday. Now, we go into Sunday here. We'll do Sunday morning, 7 a.m. on Sunday. You can see that still very, very cold, especially up in the northern plains, upper Midwest here. Ohio Valley in the teens for the most part. So it's going to get really, really, really chilly. Now, the Euro, on the other hand, honestly, not a whole lot of disagreement from what I was looking at earlier, except for the fact here that Saturday morning could get way colder according to this model. That was really the main thing I've noticed. Look at this. Upper Midwest, maybe in the -20s and even the -30s in some areas. Remember, this is not feel-like temps. These are your actual temperatures, according to this model here, which is just absolutely ridiculous. Matter of fact, let me just grab another panel here. We're going to load up GFS on the right-hand panel. That way we can see both of them. So we'll do 2 meter temps here, and then we'll add point. We'll do the same thing we did with the other one here. Do that. We'll do bold, and we'll do this should be good right here. It's about the same. It's a little bit different. Anyways, but yeah, you can kind of see the difference between the models now since we're doing this. But yeah, the American models on the right panel, the European models on the left panel, so you can see those temperatures here. But man, it's going to get absolutely ridiculously cold here. You know, the Euro definitely showing the coldest temps here for Saturday morning here in the upper Midwest. You know, -20s and -30s like we were saying, while the American shows about -10s to -20s. So obviously a little bit different there. But regardless, really cold conditions coming down here. All right, let's see here. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm gonna have to go down to the bottom of the chat because I am really far behind. So if I accidentally went over one of your all's comments, just go ahead and put it back down in the chat here, okay? Just don't spam it, please. All right, let's see here. How much trouble do I think Gatesville, Texas is going to be in the weekend? Let me pull up Gatesville. Not too sure where that's at. We can look it up here for you. Here, we'll go ahead and reset our panel real fast, though. All right, so let's hop back over here. So you said Gatesville, Texas. Okay. All right, so you're actually under a winter storm warning here right now. The National Weather Service has you in... See, ice accumulations between 1/4 of an inch and 1/2 of an inch. Wow. Yeah, that's enough to cause significant problems. I mean, yeah, that much ice will pretty much guarantee power outages in the area. You know, because ice is very heavy and it really weighs down power lines and branches and stuff like that. So, yeah. They even said isolated amounts up to 3/4 of an inch can't be ruled out. So that's 0.75 inches of ice. That is way too much. Additional sleet and snow accumulations up to 1 inch also possible. Yeah, so main concern is going to be ice out there. So really, please be careful out there. All right. Does it look like there will be more ice than snow in Northeast Tennessee? So the way that things are going now with the models, if we bring up the models again for you, we kind of look and see what the accumulations are doing. You can see that the main streak here from the models is north of northeastern Tennessee. So yeah, the main concern would probably be more ice than snow. The only model that really is against that still is the GFS, which you can see the GFS in the top left panel here, you know, showing the most snow in the area, which GFS still kind of lagging behind the other models here. But yeah, you'll likely see more ice than snow. You know, in terms, I mean, not actual amounts. I mean, obviously you wouldn't be seeing inches worth of ice, but you know what I mean? You'd have more impacts from the ice than you would the snow, essentially. All right, let's see here. Frankie says, cool hat. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. What does it look like for Eastern Kentucky tonight? Well, tonight we ain't getting no snow up in Kentucky. This is going to start here really for Saturday for you guys. I'm assuming you probably meant the temperatures here. I can bring that up real fast. It's going to get pretty cold. Here, you know what? We're just going to reset this real fast. Let me hurry up and do this real quickly. We'll do surface. We'll do 2 meter temp, which is 6 feet up. So yeah, it's going to be pretty cold tonight here. Going into Friday morning. Looks like you're going to be in the mid-upper 20s for the most part, but that's going to be really nothing compared to what's coming here. Yeah, you guys are going to get real cold. Anyways. All right, let's see. Oh, great. Another cold front next week from Florida. I saw that. I'm like dreading it already. Let's see. Surviving says, Andrew's such a nice young man. I appreciate that. I try to be. I try to treat people how I want to be treated. Let's see here. Any chance we can get 12 inches? Where was that at? Let's see. Oh, Eastern Kentucky. Gotcha. Not tonight. Definitely not tonight. But as of right now, the areas up in East Kentucky has you, yeah, possibly getting up that high. So, all right, let's see here. Looks like the models want a more southern track. Well, majority of the models actually want it north. The GFS was the model that really wants it further south. So, all right, let's see here. Lovable A says, "What about Conway, Arkansas?" Let me look. Let's see what we got going on here for you, man. First of all, I need to pull up Conway, Arkansas, because don't remember every little city. Okay. Oh, you're literally like central Arkansas. Gotcha. Weather Service has you in 4 to 10 inches of snow. You're kind of in the north central side. We'll bring up our panel here. It's best because you're kind of central, not really north. So, yeah, let's load up our Mark III here. So obviously GFS shows you in a foot, which that's probably not going to happen, to be honest with you. I mean, you might get upper. You'll probably get up anywhere from 6 to 10 inches, given the kind of average of these models here. That's how much I would expect here, about 6 to 10 inches, which is still a really good amount. All right, let's see here. Alex says, "Hey Andrew, Central Jersey still getting a foot of snow or more on Sunday. I also wondered about thunder snow because it's crazy. I don't know if there's going to be enough instability or anything like that for thunder snow. So I cannot say it's for sure, but I can tell you the totals here. So given latest guidance, I mean, it really does look like Central New Jersey could get quite a bit. But, you know, you got the AI European model here on the right panel, the AI GFS on the left panel down here. And the totals are really all over the place. You can see Trenton's about 5 inches, while just towards New Brunswick, it's almost a foot. So quite a big differential there in the models. Now, the National Weather Service has you right now showing about 12 to 16 inches with ice accumulations around 1/10 of an inch possible. Mostly snow, maybe a little bit of mixing in or a little bit of mixed in ice here included, but totals are still all over the place, really. So, all right, let's see here. Let's see here. How's Northern Indiana looking in South Bend? And is it Gazin? Do you think we'll have a winter storm watch? How are models looking? Let me look here. Let me pull up the region here first of all. All right, so South Bend area, yeah, we do not have any watches or anything yet as of right now. It seems like South Bend, honestly, you guys probably aren't going to see any more than 5 inches. I mean, the way it looks, you're likely going to be between like 2 to 4 locally higher amounts possible out by South Bend. And is it Gazin? I think it might be. Yeah, I mean, it kind of applies for both of those areas here. So as of right now, I mean, a watch is not in place. And I can't guarantee that they won't put one there either. But, you know, definitely are going to get a little bit of snow out of this here for sure. Actually, some of that snow comes from the north here a little bit. And then the main storm here drops, yeah, about 3 inches or so. Yeah, honestly, about 2 to 4 inches would be what kind of the majority of these models kind of agree on for the most part. All right, let's see here. Let's see here. I got you, Todd. Yeah, well, be careful out there, man. Let's see. All the models need to shift to the GFS. Yeah, I hear you. Let's see. Are we gonna get any of this in South Mississippi? Snow? No, we're not gonna get any snow out there for South Mississippi. Now, ice accumulations here. Honestly, here, let's pull up. Oh, we got a new run coming through. We'll back to the 18 UTC. The American GFS shows maybe a little bit of freezing rain out there. Most of it's for central Mississippi, though. Central northern Mississippi for the ice. So southern Mississippi probably won't see that much. I mean, it'll probably just be a little bit too warm for wintry weather out there. All right, let's see here. Stormy says, "How cold is Rusk County, Wisconsin? Gonna get pretty darn cold here." Rusk County is in, let's see, oh, you're kind of in the northwestern side. Yeah, it ain't gonna be pretty. I'll tell you that. Yeah, like there is the Euro was showing -30. What was that? What did I say? Saturday morning, I think it was. And then you had the American GFS was showing like -20 or something out that way. So, Isn't sleet the same as freezing rain? It is not. They're actually formed a little bit differently. So sleet is little ice pellets that you see hit the ground and they kind of bounce. Those are ice pellets. That's sleet. Freezing rain looks like rain. It's literally just rain. The only thing is your temperature on the surface is at the freezing point or below, so it'll freeze upon contact. But no, they're not the same thing. They're actually different. Now, the way that they're formed is similar, but honestly, kind of different at the same time here. Like, here, let me grab a little skew T chart here to kind of show you what's going on, like how this kind of works here. So if I grab a sounding here during some of that freezing rain, let me go ahead and bring up my pen here so I can actually write here for you guys. So we'll go ahead and load that thing up here. Hopefully it'll actually let me draw. Perfect. Okay, so here's what I want you to know. So just only pay attention to this little graph here. Don't pay attention to any of this stuff. I don't want to confuse you guys. So basically, this right here is a graph just showing you the atmosphere from a side angle. So this is the ground level down here. The higher you go up on the graph, the higher up in altitude you essentially go. Okay, all you need to know is the red temperature indicates your temperature at a certain altitude, which you can go off of the isotherms here, which you can see these guys showing negative 40 degrees Fahrenheit, negative 22. They're slanted. They're not straight up and down. The temperatures. So our freezing point is right here. Okay, so you can see that throughout the atmosphere, we go up higher in altitude. It gets a lot colder the higher you go up. So all this is freezing temps. All of this is above freezing temps. So you notice in the lower atmosphere, just before the surface, how the temperature gets above freezing. So that allows the snow that starts falling in the upper atmospheres slowly will come down. Once it hits this layer and goes above freezing temperatures, it'll melt into a water droplet like rain. And then you can see how the temperature just before we get to the ground sharply gets back cold again, below freezing. Now, if it's this way for a long period of time, it could actually refreeze in the air and fall as a little ice pellet, as sleet. But if it happens very quickly, which is most likely in this particular sounding, given that it's a really sharp inversion here, that the temperature really drops very quickly, that will be freezing rain because it'll fall as rain, it'll look like rain, but the temperature of the surface is still freezing, which it'll freeze after a little bit of being on the ground. So hopefully that kind of makes sense. Hopefully I kind of explained that well. I'm not the best teacher, but at least hopefully that helped a little bit. All right, let's see here. What about the Charleston area? What are we talking about? Charleston, South Carolina? Yeah, you guys are probably going to be pretty good. I don't think we have any watches or anything out there. It'll probably just be a little bit too warm for a lot of that stuff here. Yeah, as of right now, Charleston's supposed to be just just to the south of a lot of this freezing rain and stuff. It's close, but I think a lot of the coastal, the coastal areas are a little bit warmer usually because of the water influence there. Anyways, yeah, Todd, that's crazy, man. You be careful. Haley says, how cold will it get for area? So Kansas City area, that's out where you're at. It'll get pretty darn cold. It definitely will. Here, let me reset this here. We'll bring back up the temps for a minute, you guys. So if we hop back to surface, 2 meter temperature. So this is the GFS model. So certainly going to get very cold. Let's hop back to 18 UTC. I mean, you're going to have some nights here in the teens and single digits for sure. Yeah, it's going to get real cold out there. Seems like Saturday morning will probably be really cold for you. Yeah, possibly down into lower single digits. That's according to the GFS. Euro, the ECMWF here has you, about the same actually. Bit of agreement. But anyways, folks, well, if you guys have any questions, feel free to let us know down in the chat here. Like I said, man, it's going to be quite a storm here, and I just want to make sure that we can keep you guys up to date. And, like I said, we'll be here for you all. We'll make sure that you guys are staying up to date here with the weather, and, we'll keep you guys in the loop with everything here. We're going to go over the timing set of things. I feel like we haven't done that too much, which I'm sure a lot of you guys are kind of wondering when all this is going to start here, which a lot of it's going to start tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow is when this thing's going to start to kind of come together here. So by tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow evening here, you could see that we're going to be having a bit of snow really start kicking up here towards the central plains like Nebraska, Kansas, Oklahoma. A little bit of ice starting to form here like out by Texas and southern Oklahoma here. Then we go into Saturday morning. That's when it really starts kicking up towards the plains and the Midwest, starting to get snow. By the afternoon of Saturday, that'll start rolling in towards the towards the southeast, as well as the eastern Midwest, going towards the Ohio Valley. A lot of heavy ice will be going on at that point too. Then we approach the evening of Saturday. This will be like full-fledged winter storm activity here. Snow all the way down from pretty much New Mexico, going all the way up towards the Ohio Valley, and the Mid-Atlantic will start getting it around this point here for late Saturday. Then we go into Sunday, here kind of in the later morning. You can see a lot of ice towards the southeast, the Mid-Atlantic here. A lot of heavy snow towards the Ohio Valley, going into the northeast here and portions of the Mid-Atlantic here. And then basically by the evening of Sunday, a lot of this will be up towards the Ohio Valley northeast. Mid-Atlantic still getting some ice here. And pretty much by Monday morning, it'll be snow up in the northeast. And it should be out of the country pretty much by the evening of Monday for the most part. So, how much ice in Weaverville, North Carolina? Let me look. See what we're dealing with out there. Okay, so you're up in the western side. So according to the National Weather Service, they actually have you right now between 3/10 and 3/4 of an inch of ice. That is a lot. As well as wind gusts could be as high as 30 miles an hour across the mountain. So mixture of ice and winds like that could cause really dangerous conditions here. But up to 3/4 of an inch possible. So you're going to be seeing a lot of ice. Now, you're not going to be seeing much snow. You're going to be seeing mostly ice here, because of that lower level warmth that we were talking about here. Not on the surface. The surface is going to be below freezing or at the freezing point below. But it's a couple thousand feet up in the atmosphere where the temperature goes above freezing, which allows the snow that's falling up there to melt into snow. The snow that's up there to fall and melt into rain, and then hit the ground, and then since the ground's still freezing, it'll freeze up and stuff. So, anyways, let's see here. What about Vicksburg, Mississippi? We'll see a ice storm on the weekend. So Vicksburg, you are under a winter storm watch here. Significant impacts from ice accumulation possible. Yeah, definitely are likely going to be seeing quite a bit. Yazoo City has an ice storm warning in effect already, showing up to an inch. Wow, ice accumulations up to 1 inch with additional sleet accumulations possible. That's crazy. That's really crazy. Yeah, you're definitely going to be in for quite a icy mess, it looks like. So please be careful out there. Dirk says, thanks, no problem. Taylor says, how is Rockwood, Tennessee looking 10 miles east of Crossville? Gotcha. Let me pull up Rockwood, Tennessee. All right, so you're under a winter storm watch. The county to your west actually has a warning already in place, but as of right now, total mixed snow and sleet accumulations up to 3 inches possible, and ice accumulations around 1/4 of an inch to 1/2 an inch of ice. So that's a lot of ice out there, which that's going to cause a huge problem for travels and stuff like that. So definitely need you to to look out there for that. Now, if we hop back to the models here, we kind of look and see where everything is. You can see it might start off as maybe a little bit of snow here overall. And then, of course, a lot of it's going to turn into ice, which you'll be in that for quite a bit. And, we'll have probably a little bit of times where the temperature at the surface could go above freezing. But the night of, everything's going to refreeze over again. So let's see here. Oh, that's not good, Stormy. Yeah, you're in the extreme cold warnings. Yeah. Yeah, a lot of those northern areas are in the extreme cold warnings for sure. It's going to get really cold, for a lot of people, really. So just be sure to, keep an eye on this, y'all. We'll be here for you guys, and we'll make sure to keep you guys up to date and stuff. But once again, everybody, if y'all have any questions at all, feel free to let us know. Like I said, if you're curious about any snow totals or any ice accumulations or anything like that in your area or anybody else, just let me know. Like I said, we'll be here for you guys. We'll keep you all up to date with everything. I mean, it's going to be a big one for sure. One thing I do want to do actually real quickly here. Let's do this real quick. I do want to pull up the satellite imagery real quickly, so that we can look and see. Here, let's do this real quickly. Just so we can look and kind of see where everything's at the moment. So essentially what's happening here, synoptic-wise, I mean, we do have this low off of the coast of California right now. Now, this thing's going to be playing a pretty important role in the system. We have a lot of advancing cold air coming down from up north into the country. So this is going to be really making conditions pretty cold in general. We're going to get this low over here that's going to be working its way eastward. And then eventually it's going to start pulling moisture from the Gulf here, as these systems usually do. So with the combination of the cold air coming down, the moisture coming up, it's just one big wintry mess that is going to be developing here. That's why we're getting so much of snow and stuff like that. Let's see here. Yeah, Samuel, I don't know about that storm. It's too far out to tell, really. How long is it supposed to last? Depends on where, but the entire system is going to be kicking up from pretty much tomorrow morning, tomorrow afternoon. And it should be out by pretty much Monday afternoon. So pretty much here from Friday to Monday. It's going to be lasting for quite a while. A little bit of the timing, like I was saying. So here's Friday right here. Okay, then we go into Saturday right here. Then we go into Sunday right here. And then we go into Monday right here. And then we go into Tuesday right here. So it should be out by Tuesday. But, I mean, you can see it's just one massive storm. Crazy. Lining up to be like the blizzard of 93 in the East Tennessee area. Really? Huh. Yeah, I don't know much about that storm, to be honest with you. Will Wisconsin get any snow after the cold goes by through? Yeah, I mean, the cold air mass itself could definitely bring some more lake effect snow for the area. Seems like some of the models do suggest that. So, yeah. Samuel says, okay, thanks. Yep, no problem, dude. Got you. But yeah, guys, like I said, if y'all have any questions, do not hesitate to ask here. One thing I do want to check here, we'll do upper air real quickly. Let's do 925 temperature. Curious. See if we can't see that little warm layer there. Let me put this over top. Here, let's do anything above. Actually, anything below. We'll just blacken out here because we don't want to see that. Let's do here. Go back to that because I want to see that. All of this is going to be freezing here essentially. So right at freezing point, we'll do black. Okay, so you can kind of see where the temperatures become freezing essentially. So you can see, that little warm layer there. In the lower atmosphere where it could get a little bit warmer, even though the temperatures on the surface are still freezing. Like if I go surface, we'll go temperature. We'll just put points here. So you can actually see here, while the temperature shows 28 here, the lower atmosphere is above freezing. That's what I'm saying, that little warm layer there. That's going to really allow for the system to, for the snow to melt just before hitting the ground. I mean, like I said, the temperature that's listed here, you can see on those numbers, that is showing the surface temperature. And then, of course, the normal temperature, higher up in the atmosphere, you can see is 2.7 Celsius, which that would be like 36 or something like that. Yeah, so you can definitely see that little warm layer in place. So that's actually the Euro model. The American GFS here. Here we'll go back to the 18 UTC here, and we'll get rid of that for a minute. You can actually see the GFS has that warmer air further east. for the most part. So that would allow for more snow in the area. With that warmer, not surface but lower atmosphere air, to be eastward, further eastward and southward. So, anyways, I think many people in Arkansas are scared of the winter storm ever since 2009. Yeah, honestly, I'm not good at remembering past events unless I was in them or they were like super significant. Also, 2009, I would have been 7. So, Haley says, "How's my night? It's been good. Pretty tired, but I've been hanging in there. Just busy cranking out them updates, But anyways, folks, well, if you guys have any questions, feel free to let me know. What I'm going to do here, I'm going to change this to, instead of 925, we'll do 8. Oh, I did wind speeds. Whoops. I'm hitting all kinds of stuff. Whoops. Upper air, we'll do 850 temperature here. It'll probably be closer to the middle of that warmer air. What about, I think 500 millibars is too high. Actually, we'll do 700 millibar temperature. All this we'll do is do black, so you can kind of see where the freezing point and below is. Yeah, there's definitely a little bit of warm air in the lower atmosphere, especially from like the Euro models, and so literally every other model for the most part. Anyways, but like I said, guys, if y'all have any questions, like I said, just let me know. Yeah, you can really see it there. So all the green is showing above freezing temperatures at the lower atmosphere, but all these ones that are listed shows the surface temperature. So that shows us what the temperature is on the ground, while you can see what the or the lower atmosphere above the ground is. Which, yeah, that's going to be all above freezing. Just above the ground, but on the ground it'll be freezing. So that'll change the precipitation type, likely to freezing rain. Gonna be some crazy, crazy stuff, man, I tell you. Here, let me overlay the precip type here, too. Maybe I'll do... Yeah, you can actually see there, where those warmer lower levels are. You can see right here. That's what overlays with the precipitation type of... what is it? Of freezing rain. Huh. Do I think that Houston, Texas might get a chance for snow? I don't think so. I think it's simply going to be too warm for you guys. Yeah, so Friday going into Saturday, I mean, you can see that, these temperatures here in the lower atmosphere are going to be too warm to host any snowfall. Actually, a lot of the lower atmosphere, anyways. Surface is going to be a little bit too warm, especially out by the coastal areas. Yeah, you'll probably just see a bit of rain, maybe. Yeah, Haley, it's a couple months out, huh? Crazy weather 2026. Yeah, this is a pretty big storm, honestly. This is probably going to be one of the biggest winter storms we're going to see this winter. I mean, there's no way of being for sure it's going to be the biggest. We don't know that, but I'll definitely say it's going to be one of the biggest, because, I mean, honestly, I don't think I've ever really seen a storm much bigger than this. I mean, this thing is massive. Not only is it like wide, but it's also tall too, so it's a hunk of a storm. Goodness. I mean, it's just going to be crazy, crazy stuff, man. Let me grab a sounding for here. Yeah, so something like this I would use the Kashira ratio for, because literally from the surface to the upper atmosphere, the entire atmosphere is below freezing. So that'll be just powdery stuff. So it's important for areas up north to be to look at the Kashira ratio because it could be a little bit different, honestly. This is not like 2021 in Houston. Yeah, you guys got hit real hard by the one storm, didn't you? There was something I saw a while back from that storm that there was like somebody's power went out and there was like ice inside of their home. I mean, it was bad. They had like a leak or something. Yeah. I mean, the way it looks like the atmosphere is going to be warm enough to where you probably won't see much of any snow or ice, even really. I mean, Houston does have a winter storm watch, but we'll see. Let me pull up the HRRR. I think at this point we have a little bit of the guidance available from the HRRR model. Go back to the 0 UTC run here. Yeah, it just looks like mostly rain. Ooh, we got a little bit of a storm here, it looks like. Some crazy looking photographs, man. Look at that big old curvy thing. Thermodynamics, a little bit of elevated convection, but yeah, I mean, you can see all that ice and that snow. It really just remains to the north of you, up in Houston. So I think Houston will be fine. You might get some heavy rain though. Yeah, HRRR shows kind of a break here. It's like it comes in two waves. I mean, you can actually see that low that we were just talking about, how it's right now over by California. It's going to spin up, go to the northeast here. So the first round's going to happen, and there's going to be a little bit of a break maybe between. Then the second round of moisture will come through. So it's kind of like 2 rounds. And actually, that's kind of what GFS kind of talked about. Oh, it's really interesting. Yeah, this time tomorrow, we should have like almost a full storm available on HRRR here. But anyways, here, let me check on something real quickly. I'm curious to see, what about out by Louisville area? Generate a sounding. I want to generate a sounding through the entire event here, just to see during the snow. All right, so it looks like honestly, it looks like it'll all be really cold stuff. So that'll probably be good for Kashira ratio totals. Yeah, definitely be getting a lot of snow. But we'll keep you guys up to date with everything, guys. But I think we're gonna probably roll off here for now. But yeah, we'll be back tomorrow, guys, for some more updates on the system here. I'll be sure to, go back live for y'all tomorrow whenever I get up, and then I'll do another stream tomorrow evening here to help you guys out. But yeah, system starting tomorrow, so we'll definitely be here to help you guys. But all right, everybody. Well, thank you all so much for stopping by. If you're new to the channel, consider leaving a like, hitting that subscribe button. It'd be greatly appreciated. Once again, everybody, thank you all so much for joining. Really appreciate it. And just once again, everybody, thank you for all the kind love and support. But all right, everybody. Well, thank you all for stopping by. We'll catch you guys here in the next one, which will be here for tomorrow morning, probably tomorrow afternoon, honestly. And all right. All right, everybody. Thanks for joining. We'll see y'all in the next one. Peace out, my friends. See ya later on.